Boo Walker is a writer who lives in Cape Elizabeth. He has just published his 17th novel. It's called The English Bookstore in Bologna, and he's with us here on 207. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
So happy to be here.
You really love to write, don't you?
I am addicted to writing. It kind of saves me, yes. I wouldn't know what to do without
And yet, you're pretty honest about it, and you say that with this book, as has happened with others, there were times when you really felt pretty bogged down as you were writing it, right?
Yeah, and I think as I've kind of done this for, over 20 years, I think you never reach a place as an author where it gets easy. That probably you don't want to reach that place or it gets boring. Instead, you reach a place where you just accept that the hard times are coming and you got to get through them. It's just kind of part of the process.
The name of the book, The English Bookstore in Bologna. So people are going to assume, okay, Bologna, Italy, probably. And they might think, okay, maybe Boo was living in Bologna, Italy when he was inspired to write this book. But that is not quite the case, right?
That's not quite the case. My wife and I and son moved to Valencia, Spain, chasing an expat lifestyle during COVID, and we lived there for about a year and a half. And we started meeting all these other expats, and I felt so at home despite being so far away because everybody was super similar in that we all had wanderlust. We all kind of were attracted to Europe in a big way, and we were all kind of running from something, maybe running to something, chasing something. And as we all hung out together, I just started to see these fictional characters kind of come out of it. And this story came to be in my head, set in Valencia, and I started to think, well, I need some kind of common spine to hold these characters together. And at the same time, I was desperate for an English bookstore and didn't have one, so I thought I'd create one.
And you created it in Bologna, Italy. How did that happen?
Well, I first saw it in Valencia, and I pitched it to my publisher along with a couple other stories, and they rejected it. And so I just put this idea on the shelf, and then the characters kind of just started knocking in my imagination again. They wouldn't go away. So fast forward to a couple years ago, and the whole idea came back to me. My wife and son were going for their Italian citizenship, and we started traveling out to Italy, and my wife's Italian, obviously. We eat a lot of Italian. And I thought, well, we should do it in Bologna and try this whole thing again. So I moved the setting, same characters, and it really came alive there. It was wonderful.
I would think that it is a real spur to creativity when you're writing a story that is set in a place that is so different.
Yeah, it sure is. And, every kudos to my wife for allowing me to just hop on a plane without her and just go land in a place with a notepad and just walk around looking for stories. It's really the most fun in the entire world.
So that's what you do. Even though you're writing fiction, you can make up whatever you want. You literally walk around with a notepad and jot down notes?
Totally. I mean, I will take the freedom to make up spots if I want to, or make up streets just so the Bolognese, they won't come after me, or people who travel to Bologna often. But I grab enough truth to add some verisimilitude to it.
The focus sort of the book is what goes on in the bookstore and all the expats who are part of that world. Does that reflect to some extent your own interests and your own background and your love of bookstores and expats as well?
Yes, totally. I mean, it captures my love of damaged characters, my love of being an expat and all that has to do with it, and of course my love of books, that kind of comes with being an author. You,
as we said at the beginning, you really like to write. There's a photo on your website of you in a pool with a typewriter. Great shot. What's the story behind
Thank you.
that?
I know, that one's going to be hard to ever outdo. We move around a lot, and we used to live in St. Pete, before Spain, St. Pete, Florida, and we lived next to a underwater wedding photographer. And I just, I asked one day if we could do a shoot, and we found some old typewriters that we could just drop into the water, and I put on an old suit, and it was amazing. It was, it was a lot of fun.
I assume that you still get constantly a lot of comments about that shot.
Always. I think about how am I going to ever do that, and I think the only way is to go find her and do another set of those.
Well, if you come up with a photo that's even more dramatic and more compelling than that one, you let us know stat.
I will. Thank you.
Boo Walker is the author of The English Bookstore in Bologna. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you being here. If you would like more information on the book or the author, you'll find it in the 207 section of our new Maine app or website. And stay with us. We'll return right after this.